Thanks for tuning into this special edition of the Renshaw Report. Murray reporting from the city, too tough to die. New London, we're over in Groton. I'm sitting in the great communicator's chair, Joe Dela Cruz, which I can't fill his chair, and I can't keep up with him with that stuff that comes out of his mouth, but I'm going to do my best today because we got a big show with Tom Quintin about the clock tower at Ocean Beach, which everybody has heard about in the last 2 or 3 months, because Tom Quintin has spearheaded an effort to bring back the clock tower once again. And Tom, thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you, Murray. Thanks for having me on the show. This is awesome.
So what we've talked about while we were off the air so far, it's come to my conclusion that I'm not going to be alive to see this happen with these plans you get. But hopefully I will be. But
hopefully you will be.
We're going to get into that. And Tom's been on every show on the East Coast to try to publicize this big event to be held at Ocean Beach Park this Sunday, April 13th, from 1 to 5 p.m. It's going to be a great event. Tom will get into that a little bit before we leave, but let's just talk a little bit about where we've been and where we're going, because anybody knows Tom Quintin and Tom Quintin's family knows that his name is synonymous with anything that's happened in modern times down at Ocean Beach. And also Doreen, who was always at your side. I don't know that she liked you that much, Tom, because you worked her like a workhorse.
No.
But certainly your love for Ocean Beach Park, the jewel of New London, has always been there and still remains.
It is.
And I wanted to mention some of the efforts that occurred in my lifetime. One of the biggest was the reconstruction of the boardwalk. It seems like yesterday, but it wasn't. And I'll mention Denny Maselli and Benny Burdick, who in the cold of the winter months with the rest of the crew down there, and I don't have the names to mention, but certainly they're all included, they did yeoman's work getting that boardwalk back together. The spirit of Ocean Beach has always been there. There's something about it, and there's something about the New London people who love the beach, did love the beach, and still do love the beach.
Right, yeah.
So where are we now, Tom, with this thing? And tell us anything that you haven't mentioned that maybe you want to mention.
Okay.
I know a lot of people have watched it before. If we could stick with just new items, because YouTube loves you.
YouTube loves me. Oh, thank you. Thank you, YouTube. I appreciate that. Well, I'm going to start with 1988 when George Torello out of Essex, Connecticut did a study on the whole infrastructure of the park. They did a study on it based on what their findings were for repairs and work to be performed at the park. So I'm going to skip over right to the clock tower part. They did a study on that, and they talked about repairs being made to the clock tower, what needed to be repaired and restored back. So in roughly 1988, 1989 time frame, the clock tower was supposed to be taken down and stored in the parking lot and repaired. Things happened with the crane company. They tried to lift the whole clock tower at one shot, and they couldn't lift it. So what they did is they cut the bottom 4 legs underneath the clock tower here, and they tried to lift the clock tower, just the clock section itself. So they tried to lift that, and they had troubles with that. The crane tipped over, and the clocks were damaged and went into the boardwalk and destroyed the boardwalk, as well as destroying the clocks up there. And it was destroyed so much that it was beyond repair. So I'm not sure what happened to it. I was sat in the parking lot for quite a while, and then it disappeared.
How could that be, Tom?
I don't know. There's rumor that the upper portion of the clocks is in Jetmore's barn. If it's still there, we don't know. There was another rumor that clocks section went over to Watch Hill, but I can't confirm or deny any of those findings. But so we're moving forward to from 1988 to now 2012, 2011-12 time frame. I had the idea of taking that original clock light tower that's in the parking lot, and because it's the same structure and similar to the original clock tower, and moving that to the boardwalk. I had some pushback on that due to there was the ospreys were in that nest, as well as at that time frame there was another entity with a cell tower, and they didn't want to have a cell tower down there. So I had those two entities with me on that. So I still kept moving on this. I did phase 1 of the project, which was to take the osprey and try to get them over to the nature walk area. I built the top piece of the platform for the ospreys for them per DEP specs, and then I had Eversource donate the pole and install it for me down at the park in the nature walk area. And now the ospreys have moved over to that platform, and this tower is open and free reign for us to use and bring it up to the boardwalk. Moving a little bit further from 2012 up to the point around 2018, Jeff Suntop decided to take it over because I walked away from it after 2012, after I put the phase 1 in place. Jeff Suntop did an awesome job trying to resurrect the clock tower as well, and he got with the council, and the council passed 7-0 an ordinance to have a lockbox made for construction of a clock tower at Ocean Beach Park, and it was voted in. Ordinance number is 10-15-18-1 for that ordinance, and he did a great job putting that in place, and I commend him for that, and also commended him for trying to get horsepower to try to push getting a clock tower back at the park. Jeff had a more modernistic approach to the clock tower. I don't think the public was more a fan of that at this time, and he didn't get enough horsepower to do that. But he managed to get $5,000 into this lockbox fund that is in there, and there's a few more dollars that came in there since I've resurrected this and started pushing this clock tower again at this time. So where we are now is we have our fundraiser that April 13th from 1 to 5 this Sunday. Tickets are $50, and we have tickets at the door as well. We have a cash bar, or light hors d'oeuvres, and 50-50 drawing, and we have some auction items that we're going to be selling, and we have some merchandise also that we're going to be selling. If you're interested in some clock tower prints, we have those going to be for sale there as well. And we have a signed Lou Bonamont print that's going to be auctioned off. And it's going to be a good time. Steve Smith and Naked's #1 band in Rhode Island is going to be playing rhythm and blues there, and R&B, and it'll be a great time. I hope you guys can come down and support the clock tower and do this.
Tom, would you, at this time,
Yes.
and I don't want to put you on the spot,
No, you can.
but I understand through the grapevine, there's going to be a special mystery guest showing up at this event on Sunday. Can you tell us? You've kept it secret for so long, Tom. Can you tell us who this guy is?
You know,
Or
Maury,
woman?
I don't even know who the mystery guest is. Nobody told me either.
Tom, don't play coy with me.
Honest.
Who is it, really?
I don't know. Who's the mystery guest? I don't know. Maybe the mayor's going to come down. I'm hoping.
I heard Joyce Meehan's going to be
Really?
on there. I understand that.
Okay.
And while we're on that subject, who are your who's on this committee?
On this committee, I have John Sadai, which is very helpful. Tommy.
What's he do? All I see him do is eating.
Tommy. He's helping me with this project. I got John Russell on this project.
That's it?
I got Jeff Mullen on this project. I got Susan on this project. Got Nancy Bono on this project. I have, oh boy. Sorry about that, guys. I have Nancy Bono on that project. I have Donna Bailey on the project. This is all our committee that we have. We have a full committee. George and Monica Potts are on it. So we have quite a bit of committee for this
Now,
project. Dave Shagru is also involved with this project.
Are you done with this? Is there
Am I
anything else
done
you
with
wanted
this?
to discuss on that?
So we want to do this as phases at a time. As we gain funding, the second phase, which is first phase, is the osprey nest that's already been done. The second phase would be as soon as we raise money, enough money, we're going to move repair the light tower where it is and move that to the boardwalk with the crane. I had estimated in 2011 of,
Don't use the same guy that took it down.
of 19.5. Well, we're going to use a different guy. We're going to use another guy. I had estimated 19.5 on that. It could be more than that now. It could be like 25,000 maybe to move it now. And after that, we would do the next phases as we get money. The next phase would be to raise money to do the electrical on that, to get lighting on it and have the lighting for the boardwalk as well as the band area. We'll put some temporary lights in there for the band area if we get it up very soon, and for the band for this year.
What's the height of the clock?
This one here is I think between 50 and 75 feet. I don't have an exact figure. The old tower from the base of the tower all the way up to where the red lights were was 140 feet tall. And Mr. Crandall every year used to go up, climb with a boltsman's chair, go up there and change the two red lights on the top and shimmy his way back down on the boltsman's chair, painting his way down on that
You remember
flagpole.
that?
I remember that. I used to see him down there when I worked down there. Mr. Crandall used to go up there every year and go up there and paint that and bring it and come down.
So in the
with that.
future, Jeff Mullen will be going up?
In the future, since this is a little bit shorter tower, we don't have to worry about getting on aviation plans for the clock tower, which would be a lot of work to do. It's kind of like working through the state or DEP to try to get approvals and all that to do. So it's going to be a little bit shorter, but it's going to have a similar look. We also want to have some modern amenities with this tower also. Down below where the analog clocks are, we want to have a digital clock on each four sides, having the date, time, and the day and the year on that. And also maybe below that, we were thinking about having some 4 LED signs around the clock base to have advertisement for like Dave's shows at the beach, as well as selling advertising similar to what we have at the Water Street by the PD, that big LED sign where they sell advertisement on there. So those are a couple of things that we were thinking on doing with this. You use that money as any maintenance that we needed to do once this clock tower is installed.
So Tom, I got to ask you, this is a city-owned property.
Correct.
What is the city's involvement with the project? And is Mayor Paso going to kick in a few bucks?
I don't have any city funds involvement in this project at the moment. I know the city's having issues with funding as well. We've having some cuts through the city in the public works, possibly with early retirements, as well as cutting some of the employees.
So the answer
there.
right now, there's no
answer
funding.
Is no funding, right? Answer is all funding from the public, as well as we're going to be starting to hit the institutions of banks and EB and other people that would help and interested in with the clock tower and support the clock tower. I think we're going to have a good crowd on Sunday in support of this clock tower. So it's a pay-as-you-go project. So we're going to do it as we go. We get a section. We're going to put this up. People see that this foundation is up on the boardwalk. They're going to say, "Wow, this is really happening." We'll start donating to it.
I think that'll be a
it's
big
going to make it a reality. Rather than waiting all at once to get all the money at one piece, let's do one piece. Let's get the one phase done. We can still use it to be functional for lights for the stage area, as well as lighting up that whole boardwalk area. We can still use it as that, even if, let's say, it takes a while to get enough funding to do the engineering work and the wind loads, calcs, and all that design work for the upper part of the clocks.
Tom, I'm sorry. You know I have no retention. What is your target date for getting the tower over from point A to point B?
Getting the tower over from point A to point B would be as soon as we have enough money to do that. We'll start moving it. If we can get it done, we'd like to. If we get enough money through this fundraiser, as well as what we have now in funds, we have $10,000 at Save Ocean Beach donated as a line item in their treasury budget towards this clock tower, because they were also interested in it when I started this in 2012. When, as I'm still the chairperson of Save Ocean Beach, and I'm the chairperson of this clock tower committee, to move this forward. So they ponied in $10,000. So we're about halfway there. We do have some money that in the lockbox that we would use. I would not deplete that lockbox. I want to retain that lockbox for future maintenance and for future work on the clock tower. And money from the fundraiser. Hopefully, if we get enough money, I really would like to try to get it up before Memorial Day. This tower over to the boardwalk. If not, we'll have to wait till after Labor Day, because we're not going to do it during the middle of the beach season.
You could pull that off. You could pull that off by
if we have
Memorial
enough
Day?
money. If we have enough money, yeah.
Mystery guests up this thing. I think they might be bringing a big check.
That would be awesome.
Come on, Tom. You're holding out on me.
I'm not, Murray. I don't know. Nobody told me about this mystery guest.
Oh, come on, Tom.
Honest. I'll put my hand on the Bible. I don't know.
I mean, that's pretty remarkable that you could make this for 30 grand. You're saying you can make this happen.
I'm
by
thinking
Memorial
it's going to
Day.
be like 30 grand to move that up there to get it repaired. I haven't got the estimate yet. The contractor's still working on that estimate. I was hoping to have it by the fundraiser so I could tell people this is what we need to do phase two of this project. So there's 7 phases of this project. So phase 2 is to move that tower up. Phase 3, I'm going to go real quick. Phase 3 is to raise money to repair the lighting. Phase 4 is to do the engineering study and then raise money for the upper portion of the clocks. Phase 5, if enough money's raised, we would put the mast and the flagpole and all that up on there. Phase 6 would be, there's a light fixture at that old clock tower foundation now that would be relocated out in the parking lot, and redo that parking island out there where we have the light tower now. This yellow base that you see down here would be demolished on the 4 corners. I had made a design for it. It'd be demolished on the 4 corners and then recapped in a circle pattern so people wouldn't hit the corners of it and blow out their tires. So it would be round instead of square that it is now. And then a diamond-shaped pattern on the top with tooling, and then the light fixture would go on top of that. Just like a 1-for-1 swap. So we'd swap the light tower over to the clock tower foundation, and then move that light box over to the parking lot and where the clock tower was. So it's just a complete 1-for-1 swap that what we're doing at this point. And so I got a price to do this work, and Sam Torello said he would do that for like $81.50 to do all that foundation work. And then the last thing would be phase 7 would be install the digital clocks and the LED signage around the tower itself for advertising. So it's seven phases. So we're working on phase 2 right now.
What the clock that you have in mind for up top?
The clock I have in mind, these ones up there that are the original clock tower, Dave Shagru had a couple of pieces. He had the Lexon octagon shape of the clock tower, as well as he had a couple of hands. So I was able to take the Lexicon piece and just lay it out all the way around on a piece of paper, and found out that the original clock tower is 5 feet in diameter, the octagon shape. So since this tower is a little bit smaller, we would have probably a 4-foot octagon-shaped clock pieces in there. All this would be active digitally. Even though it would look analog, it'll be all digital. The hands will move analog type, but it'll be on a digital system. So it'll automatically update for Eastern Standard Time, Daylight Savings Time, and as well as any if the power goes out, it'll reset. It'll have battery backup, and it'll have a reset to set it back to the correct time.
Where would one buy a clock like that, Tom?
We are looking at Verdun Clocks down in Madison, Connecticut. We were dealing with them originally in 2011 with them. They will help us at any additional fundraising, and they're very interested in doing this job. The mayor had them previously in 2011 look at that as well.
And do they make the clocks themselves?
They don't make the clocks themselves. I think there's a manufacturer down in Pennsylvania that does it for them. Yeah. But it's still Verdun that's down there, yeah. And I don't know if they come from Verdun, if they come out of Germany or where they come out of from that make those for them.
You know, for several years, I've been very upset with the original engineer until I read this document that
I found, yes.
That you showed me.
I found this document. Yeah.
Because I was under the impression, and I think a lot of people have the same feeling.
Yeah.
That it was the engineer that screwed this thing up.
Yeah.
And that is not the case.
That is not the case. No, it's not the case. It wasn't the case for Melvin Jetmore. It wasn't his fault. Murray's going to read this letter to the public.
I'm impressed with this letter that you want me to read it?
Yeah, that Melvin Jetmore wrote.
This is a letter dated February 26, 1990. Goes back
a few years. Yep.
No, I never.
That's a time frame that the clock tower came down. Yes.
We never knew about this.
No, I happened to find that in files.
Well, let me read this letter because it's interesting. It's written by Mel Jetmore. It's to Mr. Palmer, who's the crane guy. This letter is in response to your statement dated February 1st, 1990, in the amount of $6,200 for the work done at Ocean Beach Park, City of New London. First, let me state that I am somewhat shocked by the receipt of this statement. The history of this project, the removal of the clock tower at Ocean Beach Park, has been one of misdirection, malfunction, and tragedy by your firm, which has resulted in extreme embarrassment to the City of New London, financial loss, and unanticipated expenditures. Your firm was hired to remove in one piece the clock tower at Ocean Beach Park and move it to a designated area at the beach for storage and future restoration. In the removal process, your site foreman made a unilateral decision to cut the tower in half to ease the lifting by the crane. When the top half was lifted, the improperly anchored crane seesawed, dropping the upper portion of the tower onto the boardwalk. This not only severely damaged the tower, but also damaged the boardwalk and the guardrails that enclosed the tower. The boardwalk to date has not been properly repaired, and the guardrails have not been properly repaired. And the tower itself, which is way beyond repair, had to be dismantled and scrapped. The last time I talked to your company, which was many months ago, it was my understanding that rather than have the city bring a claim against your firm for all damages and expenses associated with this incident, you would waive your charge for services as payment for damages. If for some reason you have changed your mind, please contact me so that the city can prepare its claim for damages to submit to you and your insurance company. If you have any questions concerning this matter, I can be reached at 447-5250. They still haven't changed the telephone number.
They still have the same phone number, yes.
So, in essence, they valued what they did at $6,200, and for some other reason, the city accepted it and never. Smedley Crane was a huge company. I don't know if they're still in business or not.
They are still in business.
They were
yes.
a huge company. I mean, this is tragic on both ends for what the Crane did company, but more so why the city didn't follow up and chase these guys. You wouldn't be trying to raise a couple $1 million if they had done what they should have done. So from that end of perspective, I think it's tragic as well.
Yeah.
And the city should be ashamed of themselves for not following through. I'm certainly not talking about Mayor Passable, because he wasn't the mayor then. But whoever was involved, they didn't do their job. I'm sorry. That's how it is.
Yeah.
It's a disgrace. And here you are, Tom. Hey, Tom, are you an engineer?
I am an engineer, yeah.
You know, it's amazing. Where did you go to school?
I went to University of New Haven. I graduated
Wow.
in '85.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For those who don't know Tom, he's probably the hardest working. Now he works for the city. Probably the hardest working employee, and most dedicated person you ever want to meet. So he's got a lot going for him, and we got a lot. We should be very thankful to have you, Tom, for the hard work you do.
Thanks, Murray. I do a lot of work at Ocean Beach Park.
He works on the weekends. Not a lot of people for fun. He works on the weekends building. So tell us some of the stuff you done.
Well, my recent projects were last fall. I finally got those poles that I got donated from Eversource down along the grassy area and the paved area installed, and I painted those. The same colors as the beach colors. The cream color and the rope on top is a blue color to match the trim of the park. And I put rope in there, and I made it a nautical look. Cleaned up all that old granite curbing and all the telephone poles that were just laying there. I know they were laying there a long time in that corner up by the gate, the main gate, but I just didn't have enough funds or enough to get it going, and I finally got it going last fall, which was great. And Dave Chagru helped with some of the funding to help the contractor auger the holes and dig the holes and put the posts in for me. And also I do use some of the city assets that when they redid the lighting on Bank Street for those nice lanterns that they had, because the light was too dim for those. They put new lights in there, but they saved the old lights. I asked if I could use those at Ocean Beach Park. It's still city to city, so they said sure. We just have them just stockpiled up at the city yard. Take what you need. So I took 2 of those, and I got those down by the where old Mondo's used to be, near the golf course where our gazebo is. And I have 2 lanterns set up there that I got from City Assets. I haven't wired those yet, but I will be wiring those. And also I grabbed 4 more, and I put those by the rides, and we just put those up. Me and Jim Diaz put those up a couple weeks ago up on top of the columns up there, and we'll be wiring those as well. So they'll have lighting over there by the rides. I'm also thinking about maybe grabbing a few more and doing the ones in front of the bathrooms and doing those fixtures up there. I got to look to see what kind of foundation a mounting plate is up there for those, and maybe I'll tackle those. I'm not sure yet, but maybe I'll tackle those this fall.
You know, Nancy Bowdy and the Save Our Beach crew, your mom and dad and the rest of them that are up there, they must be smiling. They're smiling now, seeing that we're still moving forward.
I'm sure Nancy, Ann, and Margaret's still alive, Margaret Cotner. I'm sure she's thrilled that this is happening. I wish Nancy and Ann were still here so they could see this vision come to place, because they were involved with the committee when we did this in 2011, working on this clock tower issue, trying to move the light tower up to the parking lot, reuse, repurpose, recycle, save a little money, and try to do this as low cost and effectively as we can, because there's a lot of other stuff where money could go towards repairs to the beach, as well as the rest of the city that needs money to repair things. So we want to do it. We don't want to do it. It cost us $2-3 million to build this clock tower. That it's just something to look at. We like to do it as cheaply as we can and bring the iconic tower back the way it was. I think people do. I hear it from a lot of people that they like to see the iconic old look rather than a new modern type clock tower.
Do you see from the people the love for Ocean Beach as strong as it always was? Because most people my age have a love for the beach. We all have. I was living on Bayshore Drive. When I was 10, my father was in the Navy, so he was never home. But we used to walk the sewer pipe from me and Joey Marks would mark the sewer pipe parallel with Alewife Cove.
Okay.
Jump up, go to the back where the archery was, sneak in the back gate there was up when Sloan caught us. But man, I have great memories of it, and as well as everyone. Everybody's got a seems like
Everybody has
story.
great memories of the park.
Do you see that movement as strong as it always was?
I see the movement as strong in the probably like 40 and above class. I really don't see it with the kids of today, which is going to be our future that are going to take over this. I have the Save Ocean Beach group. We meet the third Tuesday of every month. We meet at the senior center in the winter months, and then from May to September we meet at Ocean Beach for the months. The third Tuesday of the month at 6:30. Anybody's welcome to come. There's not a lot of young people coming behind us to kind of take this over, and I wish they would start coming to it and start to take this over, because it's their future. That's going to be theirs. We need to pass it down to them, and they need to take a little bit more initiative to be more civic-minded, I would say.
Yeah, I see that dwindling.
I do see that dwindling. I don't know. They're busy with other things, I guess.
I mean, like the beautification people.
Oh, Marty, they do an awesome job.
They're like the Army. They're special forces.
They're incredible.
They're airborne, you know?
Yeah.
I never seen, I mean, those old ladies, I could never keep up with that. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, and New in the Trees is doing some nice work also, trying to restore some of the trees. And I like what they're doing because they're moving them out of that 2-foot grass strip that's in between the sidewalk and the road, because that buses up the sidewalk, and they're trying to put them on, asking people to put them on their property side, which is way better, which is keeps it out of that 2-foot strip. Because that 2-foot strip is not conducive to put trees in there, as you can see how they bust up the sidewalk. I would rather see, if they want to do something like that, put some decorative trees that grow as high as only 15 feet, so it stays below the power lines of the telephone poles, and it would still look beautiful.
How many members of Save Ocean Beach are there?
There's about 25 now. It's been dwindling with people.
Of course, it's dwindling. We're all dying.
Getting older, and it's not as vibrant as it was. I'd like to see some younger people come in and learn from us and try to take this over and continue Save Ocean Beach, because it's good. I enjoy Save Ocean Beach for one reason, because that was the only group that just didn't talk. They did things, and that's what I like to go, I want to try to improve the park, and you guys are doing stuff, so that's why I joined the group. So I started just doing stuff down there and trying to make everything better. I always tell Dave, Dave, I would never hurt this park. I would try to do stuff to always improve the park.
Yeah. And I'll remind everyone, Tom, you do this as a volunteer.
It's all volunteer. I don't get paid for that.
Regular gig.
No, I don't get paid for any of the work I've done.
When do you sleep, by the way?
I know. Yeah.
I never even. You got the most energy anybody I ever known, Tom.
Thank you, Murray. Yeah.
You're either.
I'm getting a little older now, so it's starting to slow down a little bit.
You're either working or you're thinking about it.
I'm always thinking about it. It wakes me up at night sometimes.
You still
I come up
play in
with
a
an
band?
idea and it wakes me up at night.
Do you still play in a band?
I still play. I do. I'm not in a band right now, but I wish I was. I've been playing up at Montville American Legion on Sundays from 3 to 7. I don't know when I'm going to play because there's a bunch of players up there. So I just sign up and then I get to play whenever they play. I play like 3 songs and then I'm out. Yeah, let somebody else play.
Tom, is there anything else you wanted to go over before we close out?
I don't think so, but please support this clock tower. Any kind of money you can donate would be great. There's ways to donate. We have you can donate to the Save Ocean Beach group. Please annotate on your check, a clock tower fund. It's P.O. Box 147, New London, Connecticut. There's also a GoFundMe page online. You can donate to that. And
where would they find that online, Tom?
I'm not sure where that is exactly online, but there's a place for the clock tower to find that. I'm not really that adapt to social media stuff. I'm not on social media. I'm not on Facebook or any social media sites. So
how can you not be on Facebook?
I don't know.
You know,
honestly, I am on Facebook because other people take pictures of me when I'm playing, and stuff. So I am on Facebook and I'm on YouTube.
It's a phenomenon, really.
It's a phenomenon, yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
You love it, but you hate it. I ask myself, what am I doing?
I know.
But I look at it.
I
You
I
find a
think
lot
I
of
stay away
information.
from it because I don't want to hear the negativity, because I want to be positive, upbeat, and I don't want to
Well, you
be
can't
dragged
sleep-
down by
you
some,
can't
some,
sleep
of
all
the,
day,
some
Tom.
sometimes some of the negative stuff that's on there.
So listen, folks, if you get a chance, Ocean Beach Park, Sunday, April 13th, 1 to 5 p.m. A great event for a great cause. And Tom, I want to thank you on behalf of a lot of people for
Thanks.
what you do, because
Thanks.
without you, I don't know where we'd be.
Yeah.
And I hope
Thank you, Murray.
I hope we can do another show
That'd be awesome.
when we go to the next phase.
That'd be great.
And we'll go from there.
Yeah.
Tom
Come back and
Quintin.
say phase 2 is completed, and we'll go working on the next phase. That would be awesome. Yeah.
Tom Quintin is the man,
Thank you.
the New London man. 2025, the year of the clock tower.
I've been living here since all my life, since I'm going to be 68. I've been here 68 years in New London.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks for the crew. As always, Drew does yeoman's work, and Mike, I just met Mike in our new studio, and I hope you enjoyed the show, and thank you, Tom.
Thank you. Thank you, Murray. Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it. Awesome, Murray. Thank you.
Huh?
That was great.